Welcome into the State of Sports podcast. We finally have a debate for you guys. No weekly wrap-up. Morgan and I are going to argue. We have Ty Law versus Champ Bailey. That will be the discussion. Stash Cuddy will be moderating. Stash Cuddy, how are you doing?
Doing good, man. How have you been?
Good. Keep on keeping on, you know. Morgan, how are you living down there?
I'm good. Tired, but I'm good.
That's good. You know, we've been kind of ripping up in Warzone lately, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nick's retired, but we'll see if he ever makes the comeback.
I mean, whenever the new one comes out, I'll be sure to play that. But I'm all set with this one.
He'll play for a month. Nick's question: what got you into sports? Nick, do we have some answers for that?
All right, Jesus, wasn't ready. Yeah. Well, the question was, when you were younger, or just in general, didn't have to be when you were young. What got you into sports? It was a lot of we had a lot of answers, but it was a lot of similar answers. People's families got them into sports, going to games when they were kids and stuff. Santa commented, I swear, Santa has been at every monumental game in Red Sox history.
Pretty accurate.
Yeah. He was saw them clinch the impossible dream in 1967. Wow. I didn't even know they had baseball back then. But yeah, a lot of the answers were just watching games with your family and going to games with family members. So pretty much the general consensus.
I mean,
it's like a cult.
Sports is a cult. I will definitely say that.
Yep.
Its own religion.
I mean, I think Morgan takes it to a different level, to be honest. But
they built a place. They built a big place where people go in groups on Sundays. So
we're not talking about football stadiums, folks. All right, Nick, you're moderating, man.
All right. Yep, we got a football one today. As you can see by Matt's jersey, we are going. Thing. I still think those are the best looking Patriots.
By not even close.
It's either those or the new modern ones that have that weird off dark blue. I mean, red and white shoulder pads.
The Pat the Patriot ones are pretty tough too. Like the old school, the red ones. Those ones are sweet.
I hate the Brady era jerseys. Just don't like them. Anyway, so yeah, as you can see, we're gonna at least be talking about Ty Law, and Morgan has got Champ Bailey. Both great players. Corner. Both got some pretty impressive accolades, and I'm excited for this one. I know Matt. I mean, growing up, Ty Law was just Matt's dude.
Yeah. So, I'm telling you right now, if I lose this one,
I almost was wishing Morgan would take Ty Law because I would have liked to have seen Matt try and argue against it.
I would have just said, "Good game,
yeah,
good argument," and I would have took the L. I've been like, "Yeah, Ty Law's better."
Oh shit! I have Champ Bailey. I researched for Ty Law.
All right, plot twist, guys. No debate. We're just going to talk about Ty Law. Perfect. Right, but yeah, Morgan's got Champ Bailey. Matt's got Ty Law. I can't even remember who debated last time we did a debate.
It's been a while.
It was probably me.
But based on what I think was, and I'm sure Morgan won. Morgan, you can choose who goes first.
Well, Matt's itching to talk about Ty Law, so I'm going to go first.
Let's hear about this man, Champ Bailey.
So Ronald Champ Bailey.
Fire name.
Ronald. Fire. His mom nicknamed him Champ at about 7 because she thought he was destined for greatness. So.
I mean, first off, Champ Bailey, incredible name. Both of these guys, Ty Law, come on.
Yeah.
Champ Bailey, that's hard to beat.
But Champ Bailey is a 12-time All-Pro, which is the most for cornerbacks ever. Or 12-time Pro Bowler, sorry. Not All-Pro.
All-Pro, I was 12 years. That's...
No, he was a 7-time All-Pro, 3-time first team, 4-time second team. He was on the All-2000s Hall of Fame team, All-Decade team. He had 52 interceptions, which is one less than Ty Law. He had 4 touchdowns. He got robbed in the 2006 Defense Player of the Year. Jason Taylor got it because he had 13 sacks, even though Champ Bailey had 10 interceptions.
Both these guys had double-digit interception seasons.
Yeah, Ty Law was the year before, I think, in 05.
Mm-hmm.
He was a high school standout, multi-sport athlete in Georgia, in college, and he ran a 4.28 at the combine.
That is
So,
blazing.
we want to talk about track speed. That is kind of crazy.
That's insane.
I'll leave some of my other stuff for when we actually get into it.
All right. Matt, over to Ty Law.
It's a phenomenal opener. I love Champ Bailey. So this is actually like a tough argument for me, but I love Ty Law just a little bit more. Ty Law from Alquippa, Pennsylvania, which is actually funny because he's the second greatest corner ever from Alquippa, Pennsylvania. The first one's Darrelle Revis. So, which is absolutely insane that both those guys came from the same town and went to the same high school. Went to Michigan. He was a first-round draft pick of the New England Patriots. Played with the Patriots starting in '95, back when they had these sweet jerseys, up through '04. I mean, just an absolute cornerstone of that first dynasty, that first three-peat on defense with that team that was led by the defense. He's a three-time Super Bowl champion, two-time first-team All-Pro, five-time Pro Bowler, two-time NFL interceptions leader. On that 2000s all-decade team with Champ Bailey. Imagine trying to get open against those guys. Good luck. He's a New England Patriots Hall of Famer, all 90s team, all 2000s team for the New England Patriots, and he's a Hall of Famer. I mean, I'm good to open with that, and then we can get rolling here because there's a lot to this.
Yeah. Pretty close so far on both of their personal accolades. Obviously, those Super Bowl championships stick out a little bit in Ty Law's favor. Yeah, he's got 3
benefits from Tom Brady in the Patriots dynasty. So
we could actually, Morgan, always the king of segues. We can get right into that. Morgan, Champ Bailey, when it comes to against Ty Law in a debate, his team's got to be a factor for his greatness.
Oh, for sure. I mean, you talk about all the guys on his team. He had Lawyer Malloy. He had one of the best safeties in the league.
First off,
Junior Seau, Richard Seymour, like that defense was just loaded with talent.
Yeah.
So
pretty crazy team.
Champ Bailey was a man amongst himself for most of his career.
Yep. Matt.
I mean, you want to talk about
your argument?
Yeah, you want to talk about guys that like absolutely show up in the playoffs. I mean, you just talk about Ty Law. The guy is the definition of if it's playoff time, I'm here. Super Bowl interception against Kurt Warner with that 0-1 team who was a huge underdog to the St. Louis Rams. Pick 6. I mean, I still have the picture somewhere of him running down the sideline with his hand up. Honestly, kind of like, what was that game, 20-17? Like one of the 2 touchdowns the Patriots scored that game, one of them was Ty Law making a play. And anytime this guy was in the playoffs, he made plays. Ask Peyton Manning how many plays he made against him in an AFC Championship game on a snowy day in Foxborough. Oh, it was 3. He had 3 interceptions against Peyton Manning in an AFC Championship game. They literally changed the fucking rules of the NFL because of Ty Law. And that's one thing that Champ Bailey's not going to have even come anywhere close in this argument is Ty Law literally made them change the rules for the NFL that you see today. The reason that there is a 5-yard, like you can't jam after 5 yards is because of Ty Law, because he played so physical against Marvin Harrison in the AFC Championship game. The NFL was like, we need to do something to give the offense more of an opportunity to move the ball down the field. That's how dominant Ty Law was in that game.
To say that solely Ty Law is kind of ridiculous.
Go look at his Wikipedia page and go look under, I think it was the 06 season, or excuse me, the 03 season. And I'll literally read the excerpt. His physical play against some of the game's best NFL receivers prompted the NFL to more strictly enforce the 5-yard illegal contact rule on defensive backs after the 2003 season. They changed the fucking rules of the game because this guy was just so physical with receivers that were big, and he was big, like just as big as them, to make it, more of a pass-happy league that you see today. Obviously, there's been further rule changes to that, but this is kind of back in the mid-2000s, kind of when it all started to change over towards more of a passing league.
So if he changed the rules so much, why did it take him so many years to get in the Hall of Fame?
People don't respect greatness, Morgan. I don't know what you want from me. He has more interceptions than Champ Bailey. He's got
by 1. What is the main job of a cornerback?
The main job of a cornerback is to cover your receiver.
Okay, and how many pass defenses did Ty Law have?
169. I know Champ Bailey's the NFL record holder at 200 plus.
Yeah.
That's a lot more.
So pretty important that Champ Bailey defended the pass better.
I mean, he defended the pass better, but was also unable to get one more interception to get Ty Law. I mean, Ty Law also, I believe, has more touchdowns with 7 of them, has more career sacks than Champ Bailey. Like, I mean, honestly, like If
So,
you get to,
so
if you get to, oh, go
why
ahead.
why is every ranking I look at for top corners of all time have Ty Law around 19, 18, or 20, and Champ Bailey's always in the top 8?
I have
think
no
it's because
idea.
of his team.
Like, and honestly, if you want to get to that aspect of it, like, to a degree, we could also say like Ty Law being on that Patriots team, like, this is weird to say, but it's like a detrimental to his case because he was dominant before they got Tom Brady as a corner. He was still on the Patriots.
Wasn't he in the
team.
Super Bowl in '96 when the Packers beat the shit out of him?
All right, so we're going to talk about one game in '96.
You just said they didn't have anything before. They didn't have Tom Brady, but they went to a Super Bowl without Tom Brady before that.
Well, I mean, first off, Brett Favre didn't even get Super Bowl MVP. He was the kick returner. So if we want to get to that point,
don't throw shade on Desmond Howard.
I'm not throwing shade on Desmond Howard, but I'm just saying, like, if Brett Favre or whatever you're trying to argument here is about Ty Law being like not dominant, it's like Brett Favre didn't even win Super Bowl MVP. I don't understand.
I didn't even bring up Favre. I just said that they lost to the Packers in the Super Bowl.
Okay,
after you said Tom Brady was the main reason they were in the playoffs.
I didn't say they were the main reason in the playoffs. The defense was the main reason they were in the playoffs for the first run in 01.
To be fair to Morgan, you did bring up how he makes plays in the postseason, and they lost that game in the Super Bowl that Morgan's talking about without Tom Brady.
Okay, well, they won another 3 with him. Sure. 3-1 to Champ Bailey's 0-0. Okay.
Which Champ Bailey holds a INT distance record too when he picked off Tom Brady.
Yeah, and
I think
you want to know what's really funny about that interception record? He does hold that record, but you want to know what? He didn't score a fucking touchdown because Champ Bailey can't finish. Because Ben Watson came from the other corner of the fucking field and tracked his ass down and made it a touchback. So great record, Champ. You're a real champ, man. Fuck out of here with that.
Just saying, it's another record.
Matt, does Ty Law hold any records?
NFL records, no. Champ Bailey's, yeah.
Well, I don't care about his other records.
No. Well, I mean, you could Patriots records and stuff.
Have any hot dogs contest wins?
I mean, a couple probably.
The crazy thing about Champ Bailey is his high school and college career, which is insane. So in high school, down here in the state of Georgia, the man ran for 3,570 yards. He had 58 rushing touchdowns. He had 13 100-yard games. He
58?
also threw 58, and he also threw for 1,200 yards on 74 completions. He had a single season record of 1,857 rushing yards in one season with 28 touchdowns. He had a 417-yard rushing game, and he won Georgia's high jump nationals in 1994. So he was just the most unreal athlete before we even saw those.
Yeah, that is
pretty impressive stuff.
That is some pretty ridiculous stuff. Did Champ Bailey that year against Jason Taylor finish second in Defense Player of the Year voting?
Yes.
Gotcha.
And he should have won. It was bullshit.
Well, he didn't.
Jason Taylor didn't even have that kind of a year.
I know.
So,
I was looking at Ty Law's 98 season where he had 9 picks and he came in third in Defense Player of the Year. I mean, in front of him, Reggie White with 16 sacks and John Randall with 10.5. Like, that's
both of these dudes too were just in that really fun time for football, late 90s.
Back when you could play defense.
Well, yeah. I mean,
it was
Ty Law ruined it for everybody. Let's be honest. Like, can't touch anybody after 5 yards anymore.
So
because of this guy, like that's always the thing too, is like, I think him being on these teams, like if he was like a Champ Bailey and just on a team and just able to be on an island and just lock people down, does he have more respect throughout his career of being an all-time corner? Like, I don't know, because like even the year after he left the Patriots, he went to the Jets and had 10 picks. Like, that's no Bill Belichick. Like, there's none of that. He's playing with fucking, I think at that point, Chad Pennington as the Jets starting quarterback. Like, the rest of that team. Sure. But it's just, to a degree, is it a hindrance on Ty Law that he was on that dominant of a defense? Like, he was he was the cornerstone for the first 3. Him and I'd probably say Richard Seymour would probably be the first 3 because Lawyer left after 1 or 2. 1 or 2. Sayat wasn't there, all 3.
Now, looking back at that
Brewski.
first 3
Brewski, sure, but
the Super Bowls that he has,
mm-hmm.
do we look at that Patriots team the same way, like when you get later on, once they got the 4th and 5th win and stuff like that, it's kind of like, all right, now these dudes are like part of the Patriots system. They've got their thing. Now you're playing for the Patriots. We all know what that means. But Ty Law was there kind of at its creation of what that Patriots team is now.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
do you hold it against him being that early on, as
No.
they weren't like established as like the Patriots that we know today?
No, I mean, you don't get the Patriots as you know today without like him being a part of that dominant defense. Like the first three, the road to the first three Super Bowls was very defensive heavy. I remember in 01, because that was a little kid, we were growing up down there. And that AFC Championship game, before they even got to the Super Bowl, was heavily reliant on the defense because fucking Tom Brady sat one of the halves against the Steelers, and Drew Bledsoe had to come in and win that game. Like in the defense, I think it was like a 13-10 game or some low scoring game. And even the Super Bowl, that defense held the greatest offense at the time with, how many Hall of Famers on there? Kurt Warner, Marshall Faulk, Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt. They held them to friggin' below 20 points. And a huge portion of that is Ty Law taking away another Hall of Fame receiver in Isaac Bruce or Torrey Holt. I don't think Torrey's in yet, but I'm sure he will get in eventually. Probably. Taking him away from Kurt Warner and also making a play and having a pick six. Like it's just that level. And even against Peyton Manning, who is arguably top 5 greatest quarterback of all time, picking him off in an AFC Championship game 3 times, that's a feat. There's something to be said for that. That's just not like everybody else on defense.
Peyton Manning was a choker for a long time.
That's not just everybody else on defense. That's Ty Law making plays. Like if you go back to that,
if you look at some of those throws, they were horrible throws.
I mean, Ty Law is also diving all over the field to make the interception. He's still making the play. There's something to be said to that.
Now this debate, like the way it's, up against each other, reminds me of our Jeter and Ripken debate. Whereas Ty Law's on this established team, he's got the Super Bowls to back it up, to credit to him. And Champ Bailey doesn't have that just because of the lack of postseason in general that Jeter had to Ripken and stuff like that. So Morgan, up against Ty Law's Super Bowls and what Matt is saying has left his mark on the game by the game changing because of him. What can Champ Bailey do in an argument to stand up against that?
He's one of the all-time great corners, which is something Ty Law can't say.
I think that's incorrect to say, as they're both in the Hall of Fame for the same position.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Champ Bailey's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Ty Law was what, 5th, 6th?
But I mean, the fact that they're both in it doesn't matter how you get in there as long as you get in there.
Yeah.
Kind of matters. The first ballot makes a huge difference. Champ Bailey overshadowed Ty Law in the 2019 draft class. They went in the same year.
Do you think Ty Law is in the Hall of Fame without the Super Bowls?
No.
See, that's asinine to say, is he has more interceptions than Champ Bailey and like more playoff success. Even if you take away the Super Bowls and you just got him up to the Super Bowl and he lost every single one, he still has way better playoff stats than Champ Bailey does in similar amount of games. Ty Law.
Can you name a quarterback for the teams that Champ Bailey was on?
For Washington or Denver? Jake Plummer. There you go. That's one.
Yeah. How about Jason Campbell?
I don't think Campbell was there his first stint in Washington. I think Campbell was a little later. But here's my thing. So playoff stats, we're just going to go based off this, okay? Like this is kind of where I'm leaning towards with this argument. So Ty Law, we'll go Champ Bailey first. Champ Bailey played in 11 playoff games. Like he wasn't no slouch, didn't get and Ty Law played in 13. Champ Bailey's playoff stats: 2 interceptions, 9 pass deflections, 35 tackles, 0 tackles for loss. Ty Law in 13 games, 6 interceptions, 1 touchdown, 10 pass deflections, 47 tackles, and 3 tackles for loss. So also a part of being a corner and cover, like the part is covering, but also the other part is, coming up and making a play in the backfield, which Ty Law did do multiple times. 3 tackles for loss in the playoffs as a corner. Pretty impressive.
And then
so we're sitting here looking at like playoff stats and they have similar amount of games and Ty Law is better in the playoffs, like exponentially better.
Morgan.
Teams didn't throw at Champ Bailey in the playoffs. They knew better. The reason Ty Law got the opportunities because they threw at him. Champ Bailey didn't get thrown on in the playoffs.
So they were just scared.
Yeah, because I mean, he was like the only player on that defense that did anything, so they just never threw towards him. Like, oh, we just got to stay away from Champ Bailey. When you had the Patriots, you had to worry about Lawyer Malloy or Richard Seymour gets in the backfield and makes them rush the throw, and it's a throw to Ty Law. It makes it an easier pick. Like the overall defense benefited Ty Law.
You're acting like they dropped back the pass and they saw Ty Law running like a quick out right there. Peyton Manning was like, "Oh, Ty Law's open. Richard Seymour's in my face. There you go." That's such an asinine thing to say. Like Ty Law, like I understand your argument of saying that they didn't throw at Champ Bailey, but when they did throw it at Ty Law punished them consistently over and over in big moments. You don't fucking luck into 3 interceptions in an AFC championship game. You don't luck into a friggin' pick six. I mean, you can't luck into
Champ Bailey's the youngest player to ever have 3 INTs in a game.
Okay. Didn't do it during winning time, Morgan. Not in the playoffs, baby.
But if we put Champ Bailey on that Patriots team,
He does the same shit.
more or less same outcome.
Oh, yeah. I mean, of course.
But do you think Ty Law stands as well as Champ Bailey does, as Morgan said, on an island?
I mean, yeah, I said it earlier. I think if he goes to another team and he's out on an island, like, I mean, he was in 06 in the Jets, even after they changed the rules, he still got 10 picks. Like, it's no slouch. You put him out on an island, he gets to be physical.
Did they have Revis then? Or was he not there
no,
yet?
I don't think he was there yet. Well, I mean, it was 06, right?
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I think Revis is 08 maybe.
07.
07. Okay.
So
we're getting down to it. Either of you guys got a real explosive thing that you think could blow this debate open on your end? Something you've been holding back and being like, that'll be my go-to if I'm losing.
I mean, Champ Bailey in college dominated at Georgia. Like he played 957 plays, 547 were on defense, 301 on offense, 109 on special teams. Talk about all-around player. He won the best defensive player in the nation award and in the SEC. He also ran in the track and finished 3rd in the indoor track and field national championships in college.
So college-wise, Champ Bailey's taking the cake.
And then he was the 7th pick in the draft, went to a Washington team that was 6-10, and he flipped him to be a 10-6 in a playoff team his first year.
I mean, he did that Washington team. What year was that?
90. What was his first year? 99. And also, I don't know if you remember the trade to Denver, Matt, when
Clinton Portis.
they had to give up Clinton Portis and a 2nd-round pick.
Yeah. That's cool.
Like,
Well,
I just want to go. That Washington team actually was pretty decent. I mean, Brad Johnson went down to Tampa and won a Super Bowl. He went down to Tampa and won a Super Bowl. I mean, Andy had Darryl Green on the other side too.
Are you really? Hold on. Are
39
you really
years old.
giving Brad Johnson any credit for
I am.
the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that had Warren Sapp and Rondé Barber?
I sure am.
What the fuck is wrong?
I mean, Brad Johnson back then threw for 4,000 yards, 24 TDs, and 13 picks, which really isn't like that. Back in the late 90s, it's not bad.
Come on.
God, these stats are so fucking awful.
Come on now.
Champ Bailey, 5 picks as a rookie. Pretty good.
16 pass defended.
Pretty good.
pretty good.
Pretty good.
All right. Well, you guys got any closing statements?
No, just give it to Matt and fucking Ty Law, even though it doesn't deserve it.
It's not gonna happen. I mean, like I said, Ty Law is a 3-time Super Bowl champion. They changed the rules of the NFL.
Haven't we said before, NFL is so hard to gauge people individually on championships?
We have, but when you make a pick six in a Super Bowl, kind of does something to you.
Did he win Super Bowl MVP?
No, which is bullshit.
Then who gives a shit?
Absolutely drives me up a wall, but that's okay. But I mean, at the end of the day, I really think the whole them changing the rules based off of how physical he was with receivers. And I mean, it was kind of that whole Patriots team that did that on the corners. But I mean, Ty Law was the main one. And when you have that on your
But you literally just said it was the whole team.
when it's on your Wikipedia page that says you were one of the main factors.
Because I can go in and edit Champ Bailey's Wikipedia.
I'm sure you could Google other articles that say Ty Law did that. You know what I mean? Like, come on, Morgan. You're just hating right now.
Well, I've come to a decision.
Champ Bailey.
No, I'm gonna go with Ty Law just because I thought the argument that was brought was better. It's tough to argue 3 Super Bowls, even though yes, it is a team sport. But Matt did leave one thing out about Ty Law that basically swayed me in his direction anyway. But Ty Law was just fucking cool. You know,
He was very cool.
he was just really cool.
I mean, the fact that him and Lori Malloy, the nickname was the Law Firm. Like, come on, man. Like,
I just think that jersey and everything, like Ty Law was like such an iconic.
yeah, I mean,
player.
for sure. I will say that's probably a product of where we grew up. But
True.
And again, I really do love Champ Bailey. Like, Champ Bailey is one of my all-time favorites to watch. It was hard to like kind of bash Champ Bailey. It hurt my soul a little bit, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely not bashing him, but I'm just gonna have to go with Ty Law as far as a debate goes. So good game, Morgan.
Whatever.
I'm waiting for Morgan just to be like, fuck you, I don't need your validation. Oh, man. All right, well, we'll have to, what are we going to do next? Basketball or baseball?
I don't know. I mean, we're gonna have our baseball episode coming up soon anyway, so
True, we could do golf. How about that, Morgan? I'll argue golf with you. Get absolutely annihilated. Give Morgan a layup. All right, let's get into the weekly wrap up. Actually, really quick, there's one last thing I wanted to add about Ty Law. So apparently he has like his own trampoline park, and he will go into his trampoline park in the Rhode Island location, and he will play dodgeball against customers.
what is it called?
I don't know. I just didn't have one. And he owns his own vodka, D1.
Huh.
We didn't really talk about off the field stuff, but
No, we didn't.
by the way, Champ Bailey's college stuff, Morgan, that's ridiculous.
Dude, he ran the 55-meter dash in like 6 seconds.
That's disgusting.
And his long jump was almost 26 feet.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
25
What?
feet, 11 inches.
Jesus Christ. What the fuck? Holy shit. All right. Happy opening day, guys. Have you guys been happy with baseball so far this year?
I mean, I'm happy
barely.
watching it.
Pretty
being
happy,
with
yeah.
Some of the game outcomes, but you know, what are you gonna do? It's only game 3 of 162, so
That is true. Morgan's first note here, since the Cubs are the best team in baseball, question marks.
It's hard to argue right now.
I think the question mark part is right.
I mean, it's hard to argue. They've absolutely dominated the Brewers and punched them in the face and said that you guys suck and your pitching's not that
Punch
good.
them in the face.
So, as a Cubs fan right now, how hopeful are you for the season?
I mean, I still think we'll get like 80 wins, but
Felt good though, just to get out. And just
I love beating the Brewers because I think they're such a fucking overrated team. It's fucking
You
sad.
think the Brewers are overrated?
Yes, their pitching is
What?
overhyped. We just shelled their 2 best pitchers.
They had the best starting rotation in baseball last year.
And that's why they've given up 14 runs already.
It's 2022.
This year.
And
It's
we
2022.
we just shut their ass out. Maybe
That's
we have the
this
pitching staff. In the
Let's go Cubs.
They're not overrated.
I think they are.
I think the Brewers are justifiably rated
You
where
think
they
they're-
are.
Nick just goes, they're properly rated.
You want to talk about overrated? That'd be the Cubs being 2-0 and thinking they're going to be one of the best teams in baseball.
Hey,
I just said they're probably only going to win 80 games.
Hey, don't bash the
Jesus
guy.
Christ.
Let
They're
him
not gonna
break
break 80.
Let me
Yeah.
enjoy my
Listen.
moment of them being over 500.
Yeah, Nick, listen, he
Seriously.
doesn't win the debate about Champ Bailey. Now you're sitting there just knocking him down. He said they were only going to win 80 games. Just let him have his fucking moment.
I didn't even
dude.
bring up the fact of how Champ Bailey's legendary work ethic began, which would have been a story that Matt would have enjoyed.
I mean, you probably should have.
I gave ample time.
That's true.
How, Matt, he's got a kid our age.
Excuse me?
So yeah, apparently I should have brought it up because I wasn't even thinking. He had a kid at 14 and he had to work multiple jobs because he had to pay child support at 14.
Whoops.
Legend.
So that's why he has such a legendary work ethic.
He was like, well, guess I got to go to be famous to pay for all this child support.
For real. Holy shit. Damn, champ. All right, going from the Cubs to a former Cub, Morgan, one of your boys, Javi, walks it off for the Tigers in the first game. How do you feel?
That's awesome. It's hard not to love Javi. He just loves the game. He's so much fun to watch. He brings so much energy and fun to the game.
Nick, what do you think about Javi Bios?
I don't care for him. And I also thought that home run was bullshit.
Well, you're a fucking clown, so.
I'm a clown? I like Javi.
I was talking to Nick.
Oh, I thought you said you guys are clowns. I was like, whoa.
That whole hitting the yellow marker on the little wall being a home run is like, it stayed in the park.
Rules are
It
rules.
literally stayed on the field.
Rules are rules.
I get that rules are rules. It was just a horseshit home run.
Why don't you go cry about it?
I'm not gonna cry about it.
Francisco Lindor gets drilled, causes the benches to clear. I mean, the Mets do kind of have a gripe here. They had what, 3 batters get hit by a pitch in game 1, and then you got hit in game 2.
In the head.
Yeah,
In the jaw.
Like all of them.
Polar Pete got hit game 1, and then game 2 just hit a fucking piss missile grand slam.
Yeah.
That shit was fucking zooted out of the stadium.
Do we think he goes back to back to back in the home run derby this year?
I mean, if he does it, yeah. Why would you pick anybody else?
Wouldn't it be back to back to back?
I think he won
3.
He won
right?
2. He'll win 3 now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back to back to back. Yeah. Polar.
But why would he want to mess up being the 2-time?
It's true. Morgan brings up a good point. Griffey went back to back.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Well, Pete will be the first player to win 3 in a row if he does.
Yeah. Hold on. You guys keep talking.
But yeah, I don't know. The Red Sox are terrible right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, damn it, Griffey. Why'd you win a 94?
They're playing today. I wonder.
Yeah.
I remember last year, the Red Sox won like their first 3 series against the Yankees. The Yankees didn't beat them until almost the end of the season. And now it's looking like it's flip-flop this year so far.
Well, I'm ready.
Snip, snap.
I'm ready to change my World Series pick.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
It's not going to be the Red Sox.
So is Joe Buck and A-Rod calling Sunday Night Baseball since Joe Buck's on ESPN now?
I don't know if Buck is calling Sunday Night Baseball.
Because that'll be awesome, having Joe Buck and A-Rod call a Red Sox game.
Can I just say how horrible opening day was with all these new streaming service games they're trying to push? You couldn't watch half of the opening day games because like one game was on Peacock, one game was on Apple TV, one game was on Prime. Like it's ridiculous. You're trying to get new viewers, yet nobody can figure out where to watch your games.
To their credit, though, at least they're trying to make the games available.
That is
Yeah,
true.
put them on fucking TV. Really? So available to you is like I have to buy 3 more streaming packages?
Come on.
That's not available.
A lot of people have a lot of those already.
Just
So-
just put them on TV.
Not confirmed, but they say Buck will do baseball for ESPN.
Nice.
That's fucking disgusting.
I don't know why you don't like Joe Buck. I don't get it.
He calls a beautiful game.
He does.
I think you guys like his voice. I think his personality is fucking annoying as shit.
Here's the thing.
His personality is awesome, too.
I love his person. Yeah, I was gonna say, if you listen to Part of My Take, right,
He's
not
hilarious.
not to plug another podcast, but if you listen to Part of My Take, like him as a person, he's fucking funny. Like he is actually funny.
But I don't care about him as a person. I want to hear him call a baseball game.
Which he does better than pretty much anybody.
Yeah, who does it better?
I think he's a fucking chode.
You just don't like the
Also,
guy, and that's okay.
Also, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. just went fucking
I just
yard.
saw that.
Did he?
Yeah.
How bad?
Mashed.
Solo home run. Hasn't said yet, but they're up 6-1 against Texas.
Oh man, I want to highlight.
I'll let you know as soon as they bring it up.
Yeah,
But that was a
got a
nice
hold
home
of
run.
it.
Yeah,
God, dude, what a wagon, huh?
first home run this season.
Absolute unit. All right, so yeah, probably the Yankees are going to sweep tonight, and the Red Sox are already dead.
I think so.
I mean, yeah, I think that's it. I think we can call it.
I think we can call the season.
April 10th,
Yeah, new record.
time of death.
2:33 p.m.
Yeah, it's gonna be it.
That's it. All right. Let's just talk about how atrocious the Astros City Connect jerseys are.
They're terrible. Space City. They have one little cool detail in their collar is like a embroidery of like a gold lunar module, and it says like Houston Eagle has landed or something like that, which is kind of cool. But other than that, those jerseys look fucking terrible.
I mean, honestly, I think we all can just say like fuck the Houston Astros.
Yeah, I mean, has there been a good City Connect jersey yet? I think the Washington Cherry Blossom ones are okay.
I think those
are horrible.
What you think those are fucking fire, dude?
I think those are
those
nice.
are sick.
See, I think the Astros ones are sick.
No,
Oh, what? Get this guy out of here.
I think the Washington Cherry Blossoms are
I
pretty nice.
think you guys'
Yeah.
hate for the Astros is feeding into this.
No.
Just like
I'm
these
taking
jerseys.
I'm taking out what team they are. I just don't like those jerseys. I think they look cheap.
I don't hate the Astros. I just don't care enough to hate the Astros, if that makes sense. I don't care enough about baseball to hate the Astros.
There hasn't been a really good City Connects.
I mean,
I
like
think the Giants ones were pretty good.
The ones where they were like in the clouds.
Yeah.
I don't hate Wrigley's. Wrigleyville. I don't hate those.
See, I didn't like those.
I don't like those. I didn't like the South Side Chicago ones at all.
I like the Southside Chicago ones for seeing Tony La Russa walk onto the field, and the Southside Chicago ones.
Those
Which-
looked like a jersey you
by
get
far-
at Burlington Coat Factory or something.
Oh, come on! Why you had to knock Burlington Coat Factory?
It just looks like the kind of shit they'd sell. Looks cheap.
I don't like the Boston ones. They're kind of
They're terrible. They're awful.
they're kind of
The
trash.
hats are the only good redeeming quality of that.
I don't mind the Marlins ones. Yeah, dude, the Nationals Cherry Blossoms fire.
What were the Marlins?
They're red.
Red.
Yeah, with
Oh, I remember those. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
We haven't gotten like a real good one yet. I
Diamondbacks
did get the
aren't
Washington.
terrible.
I got the Nationals one in MLB The Show already.
Yeah, Morgan, I agree with you. I like San Fran's. Those look sick.
Yeah.
That's the cloud ones. I didn't care for
Yeah.
those.
I do like the Cubs though. Wrigleyville looks good. Dodgers, can we just like have a Dodgers jersey? It's so stupid. All right. Anyways, enough with the City Connect jerseys. Went down a rabbit hole. There's no NBA subjects to touch on, so we could just move over to the NFL.
Wait a minute.
Oh, what do you mean?
I don't think anything of note
I
happened in the NBA.
feel like somebody's missing the playoffs. I feel like a certain washed king is not in the playoffs.
You mean a father of three?
You're 19.
I mean, it can't even be a bash against LeBron James. Dude led the league in fucking scoring and he's averaging like 39 and 7.
Listen,
he
he gets
lead
all the
in scoring.
credit for when the team is good. He's getting the credit for when the team sucks. That's
How much more could he have done?
You know what?
figure it out.
You
get the blame.
I'll give it
You
to
know,
Morgan. Listen, 1 out of 19 years, he had an off year, missed the playoffs. Okay.
He didn't even have an off year though. That's the thing.
It's fine. You know, it's okay. You know what? He's going to come back year 20. They're going to retool.
they're
And
not.
I
They're
mean,
done. He is done.
I mean, I think he's in the point of his career now where he just wants to play with all of his friends.
well, like the fact that you say he's done is kind of ridiculous. He did average 30 points a game. Like that's not something Kobe Bryant was doing in year 20. Like, come on now. Like, let's take a step
Kobe
back.
played in a
I
way more
actually-
physical league.
I actually read that LeBron is the first. He's the youngest player to average 30 and the oldest player to average 30.
Kobe Bryant averaged like 16 points his last year. Let's take a step back and like let's
And put up 60 in his last game. Fuck off.
Oh, they've
Oh.
been giving him the ball his last game.
Cool. That's awesome. I'm so happy that happened. I'm happy for that moment for you. I'm happy for that moment for Kobe fans and for Lakers fans. That's great. It's a great lasting memory of Kobe to go out on. But like to say that he's done is absurd. He averaged 30
No, he's
points
not
per
done.
game.
He's not done.
They Anthony Davis was hurt what 3/4 of the year, and Russell Westbrook. That was a mistake that you called, so you get to say yes, you were right.
All I hear is fucking excuses.
I think because he's still averaging 30 points a game, which is just a testament to his consistency and longevity. If he's done right now, averaging 39 and like 6, what the fuck would be like him doing really good right now? Would he have to be averaging like 40 points a game for you?
he's
He was in his
nothing more
19th
than
season.
You talk about giving Kobe the ball. He's the one getting the ball all the time.
I mean, he also passes the ball all the time too.
He's got like so many assists.
You're 19. Hashtag Watch King. Hashtag we're coming for
I don't know.
Kareem.
I just don't know. I don't know as far as a
missed
single
playoffs.
like player performance in his 19th season. I don't know what more you really want him to be personally doing.
Listen,
It is not hard to get in the playoffs when there's 10 teams that get to the play-in game.
but it's okay. LeBron already said he's coming back for year 20. We're looking forward to next year. I'm ready for training camp next year. I'm ready for Giannis to repeat. To be honest, that will be make me extremely happy because then what's Morgan going to say then? If Giannis goes on another absolute dominant playoff run and has another finals against Phoenix where he drops 50 in the closing game, what do you say then, Morgan?
I'm not going to have to worry about that. So,
Who's coming out of the East?
fuck.
Maybe
This
the
guy
Celtics.
named Kevin Durant.
No,
No, they can't stop
Not making
anybody.
it out.
Just
I'm
saying.
calling it right here, right now. The Nets are not making it out. Take it to the bank.
I'll give you if the Nets get the Heat as the 1 seed, like the 1 versus the 8. I bet the Nets win that series. But if the Nets end up getting Milwaukee for the 2 versus 7, Milwaukee's just trouncing them in like 5 or 6. Like in like the game 6 won't even be fucking close. They have nothing for Giannis, and they can't guard anybody. They're just gonna get their absolute shit pushed in by Giannis. What was really weird, by the way, I had this epiphany earlier, and it blows my mind. So I was talking with one of my buddies who's also a LeBron fan, and there's a lot of LeBron fans that don't like Giannis. And I was like, why? Like that was my reaction. I was like, why? Like, why don't you like Giannis? And he said, it's because Giannis does bully ball. And I was like, have you watched the last 19 years of LeBron James play basketball? It is bully ball the entire fucking time. When he wants to go to the hole, he puts his head down and goes to the hole. And he's like, yeah, but there's so much more to like LeBron's game. I was like, Giannis is like very like, obviously he's not the shooter LeBron is, that's a weird statement to say. But like, I just don't get like what Morgan?
LeBron being a shooter.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
I mean,
my.
LeBron's not a bad shooter.
not any like early in his
But
career.
To compare people to LeBron shooting is hilarious.
Yeah,
to me.
but that's the funny part. But like, it's just like I just don't get why they don't like Giannis. Like Giannis is fun to watch.
I love Giannis.
I think he's great.
As soon as LeBron leaves the league, I'll be on the Giannis train. Like,
Yeah. I'm already, halfway on the Giannis train. I got 1 foot on that one and 1 foot on the Bron train.
Yep. I'm in between the platforms right now.
I feel like that's not good for your legs.
It's not.
I feel like
it's not good for my legs. It's not good for my heart. It's just split me in half. You know what I mean?
I feel like that's just gonna get you run over.
But that's okay because if hopefully Giannis gets title number 2 and he just continues to be absolutely dominant. Because if they go back to back and he has another Finals MVP, oh baby, I want to start talking about that guy like he's better than Kevin Durant all the time.
I would take Giannis. No, that's not saying he's better, but I would take
That's
Giannis.
crazy.
That's an absurd statement.
That's
I
so
would just take
stupid.
I would take Giannis.
That's fucking.
But I'm
dumb.
not saying he's better than him all time. I'm just saying, like right now, I would take Giannis.
I'll take Kevin Durant 12 times out of 10.
All right, moving on. The NFL, Dwyane Haskins sadly passed away early Saturday morning. He was 24 years old. I was saying this with Jack yesterday on stream, like he's just a kid, and he's like, no, he's a grown ass man. But it's like when you think about like being when you were 24, it's like in your brain you think I was like a kid back then. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just feel bad for him and his family. And then the whole Adam
Just over
Schefter,
21, you're still kind of a kid.
the whole Adam Schefter tweet is fucking crazy. You guys
What
see
did he
that?
say? No, what did he say?
Go ahead, Morgan.
I don't even remember it. It was something.
Is it taken down?
I mean,
No, I think it's still up, but he put out a second tweet after it.
Like apologizing?
Not really.
all right, pulling it up. All right. His first tweet stated, Dwyane Haskins was training in South Florida with other Steeler quarterbacks, running backs, and wide receivers. He was tragically killed this morning in South Florida when he got hit by a vehicle. Tragic. However, his second tweet, which has now been deleted,
You
said,
forgot
Dwyane
the
Haskins,
dots, which I think was bad. ...
Dwyane Haskins, a standout at Ohio State before struggling to catch on with Washington and Pittsburgh in the NFL, died this morning when he got hit by a car in South Florida. Per his agent, Cedric Saunders, Haskins would have turned 25 years old on May 3rd. The fact that you have to say in his death that he struggled to catch on, probably not the most professional thing for you to say.
I mean, I think people read too much into shit. I don't really see anything wrong with it. Did it need to be said? No, but is it like an insulting thing? No.
Yes, it is. Like the dude just died. Like you think that's what his like family like
doesn't change his history. Doesn't change his history of what happened.
Yeah, but like there's
fact.
There's a point to fucking why tweeting about that with him dying. There's no fucking point to that. What's the point to that?
Backstory.
There's no backstory. You could have just said Dwyane Haskins, they stand at Ohio State before being drafted by Washington and now on Pittsburgh, passed away. You don't have to say that he's struggling to catch on. That's a fucking dickhead thing to say. Nah, that shit's not cool. Like, guy's a fucking prick. Like, if you do that,
you could have said worse shit. Well, he could have said way worse.
Okay, so that's not the point here. You always can say worse shit. We can say worse shit right now on this podcast.
Sure.
But like, you go back and you look at it and you probably double read it and you go, that seems like a fine thing to say right now. Like, what? Like, why are you tweeting that? Like,
maybe he had somewhere he was going with it, and then it got away from him.
I mean,
it's a tweet. You got time to think.
Yeah, like it's just like it's one of those things. Like you need to think about. Like,
I don't think it's a crazy enough statement for people to be up in arms about it.
Well, you're in the minority for that, I'd say.
Yeah, I don't know. People are just fucking sensitive.
I mean, that's I think unreasonable to say when somebody that you as a teammate or loved one just passed away and just call them insensitive. It's kind of rude.
No.
Yes.
That's not what I just said.
I mean, that's the people that are pissed. Like,
okay, well, then I'm talking about general fans in general, people getting mad on Twitter. Like, who gives a shit?
That's all Twitter is.
Oh yeah, that's
each other.
So I'm saying it's not a crazy enough statement for Twitter to be in an uproar. Is what I'm saying.
I mean, I disagree, but that's okay. That shit just doesn't need to be fucking said about somebody that just died literally hours ago. Like,
then unfollow him.
I didn't follow him. I don't follow him. But just sad.
It's still, that story's still crazy to me.
Yeah, I
don't know. Like, I wish I understood like the storyline of how like it happened.
There's got to be more to it for sure. Like,
because all I heard is he got hit by like a dump truck on the highway.
I mean, what I heard is traffic was stopped.
Yeah,
like 2 or 3 lanes, and he got out to see what was going on and got in the lane that was moving, and the dump truck came. But
awful.
I don't know.
It's crazy. Just like that.
In a blink of an eye. We do have the NFL draft coming up here soon, though. Let's get that date real quick.
April 23rd, I'm guessing.
My birthday weekend? Is it? I thought it was the weekend after.
It's usually that weekend.
2022. April 28th. So that Thursday night for the first round, I know Morgan has it off. Do we want to do a live stream?
We could
do that for the first couple of picks. I know my Jags are picking early. They might have the number 1 pick because they have the worst record in the NFL last year. I mean, we have the number 1 pick because we have the worst record in the NFL last year. So I think we should do that. That'll be fun. I do got
you got to be pretty excited about next year too.
Very excited. Hopefully we'll be
Matt's thinking about 2025.
Yeah, it's like we're looking ahead right now. By the time maybe like I'm 40, like they'll be good. But
even that's a stretch.
Yeah, probably not. We're just gonna be terrible forever.
They're gonna be bought and their name's gonna be changed by then.
We'll probably be in London, and then at that point, I feel fine switching teams like a fandom, and then I'll just be a Packers fan and suffer with Morgan. So that'll be fun. I would have been suffering with Morgan years ago if he let me be a Packers fan, but he wouldn't let me.
You wouldn't suffer like I suffer.
Listen, Morgan, nobody's comparing themselves to you, okay? We know how much you suffer when it comes to back.
Just overall in sports.
Why do you do it to yourself, man?
I think he's a masochist.
You know, sometimes I just wish I get hit by a dump truck.
Oh,
Okay, come on. Don't sip the Mountain Dew after.
that's a fucked up thing to say, Morgan, after we really struggled to get this debate up and going.
Okay. All right. Morgan, take over the UFC stuff. Go ahead.
So yeah, last night's card was a good card. Average fans probably didn't like it because it was all by kind of decisions. There wasn't really any finishes. But the Hazmat Shemaev Gilbert Burns fight, easily one fight of the night. It was just constant brawling and punching, and it was just an absolute up and down fight. Both guys got rocked.
They looked
Shemaev,
insane at the end of that.
Oh my god,
Both
they
just
were
blood
just
down their face.
throwing bombs. It was one of the best fights I've seen. Shemaev remains undefeated. Likely, I think he's going to get a title shot next.
Mhm.
I think he might do one more fight before that, but he should be on the title fight for next and take on Usman. But we'll see.
How do you think he'll do against Usman?
I think he can fight with Usman.
Okay.
If he gets his ground defense better, I think he'll be fine. But we had two title fights: Aljamain Sterling and Petr Yan. The Sterling wins by a split decision. I thought Yan won the fight, but Sterling's 2 rounds of dominance in the second, third on the ground, where he had, I think it was 8.5 minutes of ground control.
Wow.
And then Yan won the fourth and the fifth, and I think Yan won the first, but they went with Sterling, so Sterling won. And then the Alexander Volkanovski and Chang Sung Jung fight, the Korean Zombie.
Fire nickname. Absolute fire nickname.
And he gets that nickname because you cannot knock this dude out. Volkanovski was just teeing off on him, and Herb Dean had to stop the fight in the fourth because the dude was just a punching bag, but he wouldn't go down.
Kind of awesome.
Like Volkanovski was literally just teeing off on him, and
The ref should have just said he's the winner and be like, bro, you're going to tuck yourself out. You lose.
Volkanovski hit a jab and then came with a right jab and then a right hook. And Herb's like, no, that's enough.
The ref's just like, we don't want you hurting your hands. All right. Go sit down.
It was a good stoppage by Herb because the dude was just getting fucking pummeled.
Sitting there like in Rocky, throw in the damn towel.
It really was.
It's like that movie Southpaw. He just like keeps getting punched in the fucking face and never goes down.
But Volkanovski is pound for pound the best fighter in MMA. He won his 21st consecutive fight.
Again,
The
fire
dude
name,
just-
fire name alert, by the way.
Yeah. So that guy's an absolute monster. So both champs retain, and we've got the up and comer coming.
Perfect. Masters, Morgan, it's your weekend.
It is kind of my weekend. The Masters been kind of boring for the most part. Scotty Scheffler got out to a hot start, and he might go wide to wire with this thing. He's got a 3-stroke lead going to the tee off today. But Tiger played well in his first round, and then he's just getting the rust worn off. He's struggled the last couple, but
He'll win it next year. I'm not worried.
48.
There's nobody I believe in more in golf than Tiger Woods.
He's just got to get his putter back.
Yeah, he'll be
It
fine.
was just good to see him out there. He's in the Sunday red today.
Oh,
It's not going well. He's +6 today, but nothing cooler than the Sunday Tiger red.
just out there for a nice little gallivant at Augusta. Just playing a couple holes, just relaxing, waving, kissing babies. You know what I mean?
Tiger made red famous.
All that blood thousands of years ago due to war and like gladiators and stuff had nothing to do with Tiger Woods' Sunday red.
Nope.
Nothing.
Eldrick Woods
What a fucking awesome name, Eldrick Woods. God, people are so good at naming their kids. It blows my mind.
There are some good ones out there.
All right. Is there anything else that we got? Was there a men's college national champion?
Nope.
I think there was.
I think there was, Morgan. Would you like to talk about that?
I don't recall.
Okay. Well, Kansas is the NCAA national champion. Duke fell short to UNC.
I won our bracket after you run in your mouth. So,
well, I'm glad you got some win, Morgan, because Duke didn't do it for you.
Nope.
But I mean, so Coach K is officially done. How do you feel before we let you get out of here?
Fine. Fucking John Shire's got the back-to-back #1 recruiting classes for 22 and 23.
They just got in 2023 their 5th 5-star recruit committed.
And they have a 4-star.
It's gonna be disgusting.
John Shire's like, all right, enough of this shit. We're fucking getting everybody. It was so their 2023 class has the number 6, the number 9, the number 11, the number 13, and the number 18 recruit in the nation. Yeah.
I think Duke will be okay. Will you miss Coach K, though?
Of course. He's the GOAT.
You'll miss him yelling at college kids to shut up?
Oh, my God.
I just think Coach K is just such a dickhead, but I'm sad I won't see him on the sideline. He is. Like, if you go Google Coach K, like, being like a dickhead stories, like, he literally has, like, stories where he's, like, yelled at kids' grandparents that like play on his team. Like he's awesome. He's a fucking asshole.
That's awesome.
Like, but you know, I will be sad to see him not on the sideline. But I mean, how fitting is it though if you're a Coach K hater? Last regular season game at Cameron, loses to UNC.
Boom.
Boom. Gets him in the tournament, Final Four, first time ever, loses to UNC and that homeless dude. That dude.
And then they lose.
And I mean, as a Duke fan, how happy were you that UNC blew the lead?
I mean, they're a bunch of pussies who don't deserve to be in that game. They should have never beat Duke. Duke beat themselves. It's not like UNC beat them. Duke beat themselves.
Semantics.
The final score did say UNC more than Duke, so.
Yeah, that's because Duke cost it themselves. They handed the game to UNC. Okay, UNC didn't earn shit. They're a bunch of bitches.
All right, so we've done the Packers letting you down, Duke let you down. Who are we looking forward to next, Morgan?
The Cubs.
The Cubs can't. The Cubs can't let me down because I don't expect much out of them.
Do I really?
You can't let somebody down in a year if you let them down every year. It just becomes the.
Listen, I appreciate them. They never get the bar too high, so
Correct.
I never get too high.
That is a good way to live right there, to be honest.
Were you disappointed the year after they won the World Series when they were just trash?
No. What? No.
You were just like, they did it, whatever.
I mean, Morgan's
Yeah.
good. Morgan's good for the rest of his life. Like he's got one, he saw it, you know, he's good. But so do I really have to wait all the way until NFL training camp to like get excited for you to be disappointed again?
No, it's not happening again.
Never again. It's never gonna.
I'm fully ready for us to win about 10 games, and that's about it. Get knocked out in the first round. So
okay, then what? So I have to wait till Duke basketball next year?
Nope, they will just choke in the Elite Eight.
No. I need you to have hope, Morgan. This isn't the point.
Hope is dead. There is no more new hope. It's all the Empire Strikes Back.
Morgan just goes, all hope is lost, Spartan, even for you. Got a more quote for the folks back home that don't get it.
Yep.
Do we need to is there anything pop culture that we need to cover soon?
Moon Knight is out. Only 2 episodes.
Seen it.
Yeah, I gotta watch it. The Halo show.
I heard it's bad.
I don't hate it.
Oh, you've been watching it?
Yeah.
I heard it almost has nothing to do with the games.
It's a prequel.
Oh, okay.
It's like it's gonna show you how he becomes Master Chief, which I think
So he's not Master Chief yet.
They refer to him as Master Chief, but like you don't really see him. Like, you know what I mean?
He's just his number, whatever it is.
No, he's he goes by John a lot, and like some people will call him like Master Chief, but it's like you see him without his helmet a lot. So it's like, which is interesting because like in the game, like you don't see him without his helmet ever.
Yeah.
But you like they're introducing Cortana, like her first coming to life. So I think it's going to be interesting. I think it's got some
like
potential.
a show. It's weird that like, you know, a show you've been waiting for that long to come around and it's like not getting really any hype.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm enjoying it. So
yeah, I haven't checked it out.
Me personally, but Morgan, you got anything else before we let you get out of here? I know you got to go to work here.
I gotta get a nap in before work.
Ooh. There you go. Stash Cuddy, you got anything? I know you got to go drink, so.
Yeah.
Nah. Cool. Well, that is it for the State of Sports podcast. We love you guys.
Question of the week.
Oh, I apologize. Nick forgot too.
No, I didn't forget.
Hey, you did. Then why didn't you interrupt me, huh?
Doesn't matter. All right. Yeah, the question of the week is not a question, but it's going to be a question on social media. So you'll have to see. But we want you guys to ask us a question and we will answer them at the beginning of next episode. Direct it to who you want to ask and we will answer them at the beginning of next episode.
I really hope people just say
debatable.
I really hope people just say absolutely awful shit to us.
What's debatable?
I want more.
Read them next episode.
No. I want somebody like ask Morgan. Like I'm not personally going to do this. I wouldn't recommend anybody going to do this on
his burner account
on our Facebook page, which is at M&M SOS Pod. Don't go to the Facebook page when this gets posted and ask Morgan, what is it like to watch your favorite teams choke continuously year after year? How does that make you feel?
Jesus.
Yeah, I'm not answering that.
Why? If it's from a fan?
No. Because that fan's my brother and he's a dickhead.
It's like they should 100% know better.
As long as it's not your brother.
No, because they hit no.
I mean, your brother's just gonna bring up the whole Clay Matthews thing. Like
yeah, I haven't heard that one before. It's getting old.
I mean, we're going on a decade of that now, right?
Yeah, I don't know who the skinny guy in the picture is.
It's kind of funny. Definitely not Brian.
Classic.
But
yeah, we're going to post that.
I like that.
We'll have you guys ask us some questions.
That sounds good. We will catch you guys next Sunday. Don't know if it's going to be a debate or what type of episode it is. Nick's playing MLB The Show. We thought we would have noticed, but we did.
I was watching the Rangers Blue Jays.
I'm just messing with you. That is it. We will catch you guys next week. There's no more sports teams that Morgan say go for anymore, so it's kind of sad. Go Cubs! Go Cubs!
No.
Okay. All right. Well, this is.
I'm just defeated. So.